Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Tim Meyer, here for the Romeo Sports Recap, powered by the Mitt TV. Remember, this show is available on both YouTube and Spotify. And before we begin, a word from our sponsors. This podcast is powered by the Mitt TV of Romeo, Michigan. If you're looking to start a podcast for your business or personal use, look no further than the Mitt TV. They can get you access to equipment, a production engineer, and can even edit your podcast. That's all right here at the Mitt TV of Romeo, Michigan. And you can contact them right now via email at mitt.tvpodcast@gmail.com. That's mitt.tvpodcast@gmail.com. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Romeo Sports Recap show. I'm here with girls varsity head soccer coach Trevor Foster. And Trevor, guys were like last year, I think was it 9-7 and 3 and 3-1-3 in the league. And this year, you guys are off to kind of an interesting start.
You can say it, rough start.
It's a little interesting because
less than ideal.
Because there was a game you tied there, and I don't know, it was I think it was Lance Cruz North. And I thought you may have had a chance to win that one. It seemed really odd that it was a 0-0 score.
Yeah, I mean, as far as that game, we've had a couple games now that we'd like to have back and a second crack at. But it's early in the season, a lot of players getting used to each other. Last night specifically, I mean, it felt like we set a state record for the amount of shots we had on frame there. We just couldn't put one back, and everybody knows with soccer, there's those games that happen where you seem to dominate, you seem to do everything right except get the ball across the goal line. So
yeah, it's very similar to hockey, and everybody knows, you had 50 shots on goal. And talking to Coach Burke, he's had some games where he thought his guys did everything but put it in the basket, and so that was
and often it's easier said than done too. I mean, you look at how big the frame of the net is, and you look at how small the ball is, and even a 6'4" giant standing in there, it's still going to look like a pretty big frame. But again, easier said than done. It's a game that's played with our feet, not our hands, and for anybody, it's going to be a difficult thing. But we're getting there. We worked on it a lot today, and I think that'll turn around tomorrow.
And you played some pretty tough teams to start out. It seems like every Romeo coach that I talked to, whether it's lacrosse or soccer, or even football, they're not afraid to go against the best in the state and top teams. And the philosophy is to make your teams better.
Yeah, and honestly, part of it too is you just don't really know what you have unless you're playing against some of those top tier teams. You can get a false sense of what you are if you're playing against teams early that might be a tier or two under you. So we like to find out what we have early, so that way when we're mid-season, we've kind of worked out all those kinks, and they've already shown their face early in the season, where they might not show it as much if we're playing a team that maybe we should be blowing out of the water or something like that.
Uh-huh. And which players, I guess, are kind of off to a decent start this year that you can actually say are really, really firing on all cylinders?
Yeah, I mean, actually, some of the players that are here today, Lydia Hill has got a couple goals already on the season. Ava Bloomquist has got a couple goals on the season. Claire Carmody's registered a few assists. It's no surprise that they're seniors, they're captains, and they've been doing a good job leading us into the battle here.
Hey, you got a little bit of speed on your team this year? Is that?
We actually have a player with the last name Speed, but we also do have a lot of speed. I do think overall, compared to other years, we have some pretty good team speed from top to bottom through pretty much every position. We're going to be able to move, and that certainly doesn't ever hurt.
I guess anybody surprise you? Anybody
surprising you this year?
Yeah, a lot of the girls, they're all doing great. Somebody like Julie Sandoval, a junior, has really stood out, even to casual viewers of the game. My dad comes to the games, right, and he's not a big soccer guy; he's more of a basketball guy. But he even has said, like, who's that number 10 player? She just has a motor that never stops. She works hard. She's scrappy. She does a lot of the dirty work for us, and she's really stepped up. Addison Speed is playing out of position. Generally, she's a center midfielder, but she has really locked down our back line as a center back, which is a very difficult position to play. You're essentially one of the leaders of the back line. Olivia Luther, again, senior on the back line. We've been kind of moving her to different spots, and her and Addison Speed have, despite us giving up some goals we would like to have back, it's not fully on them, and all three of those players have done a really good job recently.
Yeah, and then, you get those players. You see them occasionally. There's guys in basketball, the football field, or girls in the motor just keeps running. Girls basketball, they're just up and down, back and forth. I watch them, it gives me a heart attack.
Yeah,
right. I don't think I can keep up with that. Let's talk about some of the players on your roster, maybe that you're expecting some things out of. Can you kind of give us a little idea? You really feel, I don't want to say, you really feel confident that they'll really come through as the season goes on.
Yeah, well, we've talked about mentioned our three captains already, and they have done a great job so far. Two of them have been on varsity since they were freshmen. One of them, since she was a sophomore, she would have been as a freshman had she been in the program. So we've had these players who just coming up for 4 years have really been able to understand the style of play that we want and kind of diffuse that amongst their teammates so everybody understands as well and kind of be pillars of that style. But we did add a new older player who has not played at Romeo yet in her career, and her name is McKenna Clouston. So she's been a huge boost.
Where does she come?
She actually transferred to our virtual academy. She's going to be graduating early next winter to be going to Utah Valley to play Division I soccer. She was able to come in, step right in, fit the system really well, and be a big difference maker.
Wow. Hey.
When you're adding a Division I soccer player to your team, you're not.
Yeah, you're not. You can't really say. That's great. That's going to be a real boost for the kid. How the other girls like playing around with her and working with her?
Yeah, she's the type of player, just like a lot of the players on our team, they make those around them better. They're unselfish. Sometimes I want them to be a little bit more selfish, and we talked about that a lot last night. Taking shots, choosing to pass when they probably should have been a little bit selfish and taken a shot. That's something we're working on. But, referring to McKenna in general, very unselfish player, makes those around her better. But most of our players kind of have that mindset.
Yeah, and there's a style that you guys, you are pretty much of an attacking style the last few years and played great defense. Had good goaltending a couple of years ago, really good goaltending, and last year wasn't bad either. But you guys seem like that type of a team where you're not afraid to just attack and counterattack.
Yeah, that is a message we are pushing this year, to be more that way. I think if you asked anyone, we're a very organized team. We have a pretty strict shape. We play within a pretty strong framework, and we don't veer too far out of that. Everybody understands their roles, and everything's coached and explained and taken in very clearly. So we're very structured kind of approach to things, defend really well, defend together, and then also attack as a whole team as well. So, a lot of people get lost in calling what you would think of as your defenders, your backline players. A lot of people call those players your defenders. Well, they're not. Everybody's a defender when you don't have the ball. And that's a big philosophy with us, is we don't have defenders. We have a back line, a midfield line, and a forward line. And we're all defenders when we don't have it.
Yeah, so they all have to kind of fall back
exactly.
and try to get the ball for the counterattack.
Right.
That makes sense. Let's talk about, you've scheduled some tough teams. You got some tough teams coming up on your schedule. I think Eisenhower is undefeated this year, right?
They are.
So they'll probably be a formidable opponent for you, even though they don't have a home field. You know, they tore apart that stadium there, and so I don't know where do you play at your place then, the home game or their game?
I didn't even know that. I don't know where we're playing.
I just drove by the other day. It was
I have no idea. I'll be looking into that right after this.
Yeah. No, that's going to be interesting where they want to play. So
Swinehart is...
Yeah, the football team is going to play down at Warren Mott.
Wow.
For their home games. I thought, that's kind of weird.
It's very interesting. I did not know that, but I'm looking forward to finding out. But yeah, they're 6-0, very high octane team, scoring a ton of goals. They usually do early in seasons. They are our main rival, right?
Yeah.
We're both in the MAC Red, and we had the first ever win against them last year in the district playoffs. Oh, it was fun. It was fun. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm sure they haven't forgot about it.
Oh no. They definitely didn't forget about that. And it's going to be a good one coming up on Monday.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about the rest of the season. You had a Clarkston on your team. What is, in Utica's always tough. I mean, Anchor Bay's no slouch. Did you see a breathing room in here anywhere?
There's not. That's what's interesting. But there's so much you have to factor in, right? And part of that is there's now playoff seeding, and it's very much seeded like you would think NCAA basketball tournament or the college football playoffs with power rankings and things like that. So the better teams you play, the more power ranking points you get, essentially. And you just... With the district we play in, you really got to shoot for one of those bye week games. Because technically every team in our district could potentially win the state championship every year. Not every district is like that. So there's a lot of imbalance across the state. And it's something we really have to factor into our scheduling.
And what is the ATCC Invitational? What is that? That's Traverse City, and
Yeah.
What do you guys go up there?
So,
how does that work?
Yeah, we've made a little tradition out of going up there every year. This is going to be the third year that we do it. The girls get a big Airbnb, stay with, some chaperones. We go up there, we play the Traverse City teams, and then, usually hang out, do some team bonding, things like that.
If I remember last year, you guys did quite well.
Yeah, well, last year we ended up we played a Grand Rapids team on the way up, and then on Friday, and then on Saturday we just did some like kayaking and mountain biking and things like that. So team kind of bonding. This year we won't play Friday, but we'll play on Saturday versus Traverse City Central.
Okay. Well, that'll be interesting game, a nice matchup.
Yeah, it's nice too because they usually do well in that area, and we kind of sneak in some power ranking points from another portion of the state, which is great for us.
Well, that's cool. And you end up, I believe, with Rochester Adams, who's always strong. At least in the boys program, they're very strong, and they look like they're going to be a good team again this year.
Yeah, they also brought a lot of new players back this year. I want to say they brought in 4. They won the state championship last year. We'll probably look to go back to back. Hopefully we have something to do with them not, but we'll get there when we get there. They're up there. Rochester's always does a really great job. Eisenhower's in our district, Stony Creek. The OAA Red is extremely difficult, just like the MAC Red. So there's a couple big teams in this area that could really make a good push.
Well, what will be this team's biggest challenges?
Scoring goals right now, and I hope that changes. That is the focus right now. Is I told the team today. I think we're doing so much right. There's not really a lot I have to complain about other than getting that circle, that sphere across that line, and that's all it boils down to right now. I think we can play with anybody. I would say otherwise if I didn't think so. Defensively, we're very strong. We have a good goalkeeper. We have all the pieces we need. It's just going to come down to kind of sewing it all together at the right times.
Yeah, I guess all you can do is just keep practicing. Much in the same as maybe, hockey players do the same thing. They just keep firing the puck and keep, got to keep hitting the ball and get the feel for it until you get it. But, goals, they either come in bunches or it's like a dry spell. You just.
When it rains, it pours, and otherwise, it's a dry spell.
You get a big win, like a 6-0 win. You think, just save some of those goals for the next game, Well, we wish you the best of luck this year, and I look forward to getting out there. Hopefully I can get out there here at least for that Eisenhower game and check you guys out and I mean, I get kind of scared standing on the sidelines because the girls, while they're nice in here, they get real competitive, and it scares me sometimes, you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're tough. I mean, our team motto is built different, and the reason we want to be different in everything we do, from top to bottom, and part of that is being tougher than the other team and outplaying them in every way that we can, and we're gonna get there.
Okay. I appreciate it, Trevor. Thank you
Thanks
very much.
a lot. Appreciate
We'll
it.
be back with more of the Romeo Sports Recap Special and some of those players right after this.
Before we continue, here on the Romeo Sports Recap Show, a word from our sponsors.
This podcast is powered by the Mitt TV of Romeo, Michigan. If you're looking to start a podcast for your business or personal use, look no further than the Mitt TV. They can get you access to equipment, a production engineer, and can even edit your podcast. That's all right here at the Mitt TV of Romeo, Michigan. And you can contact them right now via email at mitt.tvpodcast@gmail.com. That's mitt.tvpodcast@gmail.com. Now back to the show. I'm here with Romeo varsity girls soccer players. I got Claire Carmody, Ava Bloomquist, and Lydia Hill. And ladies, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here. A couple of you have been on before, right?
Yeah.
And this set, so you kind of know what to expect. It's just all fun and games, right?
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about your start this year. Guys, 2-2-1. What are your feelings about that?
I think the first couple of games of like every varsity season is just like all about like getting to know your teammates, like what kind of balls you have to play to like each other. So I think we're just like working on gelling together.
Okay, and Lydia, how hard is it to get to know your teammates when you practice with them? I mean, you've played with some of these gals before. What sort of you have to get like re-chemistry or whatever they call it?
Yeah, it's definitely really hard at the beginning of the season because everyone's coming off of their different club seasons and not every team plays the same style of soccer. Like, I mean, you can look at the field and you can see the different styles. So it's just hard sometimes to get back on the same page of like the pace to play to a forward. You're used to playing a different forward, stuff like that.
And how about you, Lydia? What do you think, Ava, about the?
It's also just getting used to people in new spots because since the seniors graduated, we have new girls filling in new roles. So just getting used to them having a bigger role.
Now, are you in a new spot or?
No, because of the seniors that graduated last year, we have girls this year that are stepping up and taking on a bigger role. So it's just getting used to playing with them.
Okay, and then in your first 5 games, highlights and lowlights. What do you think?
I think Dakota was a highlight. I thought we played great against Dakota. We beat them 2-1, and possessionally we looked really good. I think it even could have been maybe like 3-1, 4-1, but
yeah. And what do you think, Lydia? What are highlights, lowlights so far?
I think that our team is heading in a really good direction, but I do think that yesterday got to us a little bit because we were coming off of such a high from Dakota, and it just stinks to tie to a team that potentially could have had a different outcome.
Yeah. How about you?
I agree. Like Coach Trevor said earlier, we just had like a couple of games we wish we like could have got another shot at, and like hoping for a different outcome.
Talk a little bit about training off season and maybe how other sports have helped you be good soccer players. Cool.
Well, me and Lydia have played basketball for like our whole life, so I think basketball definitely helps, like condition wise, because we play basketball and club soccer at the same time. So, yeah.
Yeah. What about? Do you agree with that, Lydia? Or?
Yeah, I would say the same thing. Basketball, the conditioning is just different than soccer.
What else do you do besides just play those sports for training and things like that?
Yeah, I definitely train a lot more for soccer.
You work out in the gym, or you just
Yeah,
run,
yeah.
run and run?
Yep, I run, I go to the gym. But for off season, not during high school season, we're all on the same club soccer team, so we train 4 days a week for that.
So are you lifting weights?
One of the days is lifting weights, yes.
Are you pretty strong? I mean, we could arm wrestle after. Probably beat me. That'd be embarrassing. National television. No. How about you, April? What do you think about it? Do you think the other sports have helped you?
Yeah, I would say I'm always in season for something because I go from high school volleyball, then to club soccer, then to high school soccer. So I'm always like training for something.
Does your parents miss you?
Yeah, I'm always gone at practice, but I love it that way. So
Yeah, well, that's good. I mean, it keeps you from getting in trouble.
Yeah.
And do you lift weights too?
yeah, we do it. We all play club team together, so we all lift on Monday.
So you're lifting too. You're
Yeah.
all lifting.
Yeah.
As you can tell, not lifting anything. Put myself out of the chair after the show. But no, that's good. It keeps you in shape. I mean, do you think that's a habit you're going to keep up, the training throughout your life? I mean, what do you think? Or are you going to like, "Ooh, done playing sports, I'm going to relax and eat bonbons"?
Well, me and Claire are going to play soccer in college, so we'll definitely keep that up. But
Oh,
other than that,
that'd be rigorous.
I think that it's just something that we've done our whole life, so I do think that, yeah, I would keep it up after that.
for sure.
Oh, that's cool. Ava, what about you?
Well, I'm planning on playing club in college, so definitely still staying active and going to the gym. Because it's been like a part of my life for so long, I don't think I can just like not be doing something.
Do you think you do volleyball in college? Or
Yeah, maybe both.
Yeah. Oh, well, that'll be good.
Yeah.
I didn't do nothing in college. I was the guy. Yeah, I'll have another one. So I didn't get much activity out there. But anyway, enough about me. Tell me a little bit about your favorite subjects in school and who your favorite teachers are.
Well, I do love my gym teacher, Miss Anderson, a lot. She just actually came back she broke her leg, so
Ouch.
she was out for like 2 months, but she's healthy and back now, so I'm happy.
And is that a favorite subject, gym?
Yeah, I guess.
Can you major in that? I don't know. Do you,
No, I don't
you don't
think
know
you can
their
make
interests?
it.
Okay, how about you, Ava?
I really like my entrepreneurship class because I get to work in the school store, and Miss Legerman teaches that, and I really like her as a teacher.
So do you think you'd probably want to do your own business one day after?
Yeah, I want to do something business related, either like marketing or entrepreneurship.
Yeah, well, that's good. I mean, businesses come up and businesses go.
Yeah.
But if you get a good one, I think Mrs. What is it? The K Blocks Barbecue.
Oh yeah.
She started that thing, and talked to her a few times.
Yeah.
And, it's just it's going great for her right
Yeah.
now. And that's good. How about you, Lydia? You want to build cars when you're gonna be in the
No,
garage? You're gonna be an auto technician?
I really enjoy my field study class, so we go out to the field, which I go to Health Quest Physical Therapy 1 to 2 mornings a week, and we just get to go and work there. So I really enjoy that.
Oh, that's cool. That's kind of interesting that you get a chance to do something besides soccer. What else do you do besides soccer? Or sports? When you're not playing sport, what are you doing? You sitting around watching Netflix or what?
Probably just playing sports.
You're always picking up a ball, or okay. How about you, Amy? I'm sure you got plenty of other things.
I really like hanging out with my friends.
Are they pretty funny or entertaining or what?
Yeah. Most of them play sports too,
Okay.
which I really like because I'm really good friends with all of them, and then we all get to play club soccer and high school soccer with. So it's kind of like I'm hanging out with my friends like all the time and playing sports.
I know you're building cars.
Yeah.
What else do you do besides do that?
I hang out with my friend that builds cars.
Yeah.
And
How did you guys ever do that? You can catch them. They'll be in the Romeo Peach Festival at the car parade on the Saturday night, and they usually come right by. How did you guys do that?
well, we didn't do
whose
it.
idea
Her
was it?
dad did it.
Oh.
We all just say that we did it because we always drive that car around.
Okay, so you really wouldn't know what a fastener is.
No, I have no clue.
Okay, well Excuse me, that's interesting. I'm all choked up about that. I thought you knew everything there was to know. Socially, and you're hanging out with your friends, guys, and you're playing sports. But when it comes to college, what do you think you're going to major in?
Definitely. I'm planning on going into something in business. Like, I'm leaning towards like the marketing pathway.
Mm-hmm. What do you think you like about marketing? Is it just the sort of sexy part, or is it the researching part?
Well, like Ava said, like we had 2 classes in high school, marketing and entrepreneurship, and it just like kind of taught me like, I don't know, I'm just really interested in going into that pathway for my career.
And you said entrepreneurship,
Yeah.
so I assume it's a business. Do you have an idea what kind of business?
I kind of want to do something sports marketing because
Yeah.
I'm already like involved with sports and I like marketing, so it would be fun to like combine them and eventually work like
Yeah,
for like a sports company for their marketing.
maybe a professional team or something
Yeah.
like that. Oh, that'd be pretty interesting. How about you, Ava? Just open up a garage? And bump
No,
a paint shop?
I'm planning on studying exercise physiology or exercise science, and then hopefully after those 4 years, maybe going and getting my DPT.
Is that like kinesiology where you're studying motion? And...
Yeah, and yeah.
No, that's pretty interesting. You like that, huh? You think that's kind of interesting field? There's a lot to learn in that
Yeah,
field. I mean,
yeah,
there's a lot
I'm
of stuff.
definitely interested in like the body and stuff like that.
Okay, well let's move on from there and just coach. We talked about the schedule with the coach, and he's put some tough competition for you,
Yeah.
you ladies, and I mean, your thoughts about that? You got a pretty rough schedule coming up. I mean, people don't realize how tough all these teams are, and in your division, you got any one of them teams could win, really. Win it all. What do you think about the meat grinder of a schedule?
I'll go. I would rather have it harder than easier because it's more fun to just play teams that are like higher level than you or the same level.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely don't think there's any team that we don't have a chance to win, so
Yeah, and anyone in our area, really, you kind of know that it's going to be a good matchup, and the harder teams you play, like, it just preps you more for later in the season.
Well, now you girls, you're out there. I mean, I watch, but there's some teams that are really aggressive. I mean, physically aggressive, will push you around. And when that starts happening in a match, how do you guys respond to that?
honestly, it gets
I know
me
you
more
punch them.
excited.
You probably punch it out there and rabbit punch somebody or no. You're more motivated for that?
Yeah,
Is that-
definitely. Like the more general, like a general
Adrenaline.
adrenaline.
Oh yeah.
And it just makes it more, like,
Competitive.
if you beat them,
Competitive.
if you
Yeah.
beat them, it's just, like, it just makes the moment even better.
Yeah, well, I don't know. You when you start getting pushed around, Eva, I mean, you're not short or anything like that. You're pretty tall, and you could probably are taller than most of the girls out
Yeah.
there. But how do you react when you start getting elbowed and
Well,
pushed?
usually I don't let it get to my head because then I just start playing out of control. So I just stay pretty calm and know that they're only doing that because they're not as good as me or fast as me.
Oh, well, that's good. You got to tell yourself something, and that's probably just as good as any answer. Coach says you guys are having trouble putting the bowling ball down the lane, and making strikes.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
what are you thinking in your mind you could do different, or just what are you gonna do? You're gonna keep doing the same stuff? What do you tell me?
Well, I think one of the things we need to do is stop dribbling across the 18, but we get yelled at that every day. So, yeah.
I think that we're doing a good job of getting in the box. I think it's just focusing on finishing the ball instead of we're getting in the box a lot and we're getting good chances, but when that happens, a lot of us are losing our composure, which is understandable because if it
You get all
close, if a
worked
game's
up.
close, you
Yeah.
want to have that goal, but
Yeah.
I think that we just need to take a deep breath once we get in the 18 and just focus on placing the ball.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, we create a lot of chances for ourselves. It's just finishing, which that's what we did at practice today, was just shooting the whole time. So
Full practice.
hopefully that would help.
Not with a goalie, right? Or with a goalie in
No,
there? Oh, did you break her heart? Yeah. Hopefully you didn't destroy her confidence there. But, well, I think y'all both, you shoot pretty hard, so.
Yeah.
And you guys are, looking at your faces when you're out there. You're pretty competitive. So, how long does it take you? I see your faces. You guys are very competitive out there. I've been on the field and watched. And after the game, how long does it take for you to wind down?
Oh, it takes me a really long time. Probably like the next morning.
Definitely depending on the
Depends on
outcome.
the game. Last
night-
LCN.
Yeah.
I mean, if you lose, I understand that could stick with you. But after you win, and like last year, if you guys beat Eisenhower for that win, I mean, what was
Excited for literally that made my school year.
My adrenaline was pumping
I know.
till like the next morning. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah,
I
same.
didn't really sleep that night.
Yeah.
So? What do you expect from them this year?
I know that they're gonna be tough, but
I mean, do you think they're going to have that in the back of their minds, that they're going to want to get at you guys?
well, they have some new players on their team that didn't experience the when we beat them. But I mean, I don't
Well, you
know.
have to get them to experience it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
All right, ladies, I appreciate you stopping by the Romeo Sports Recap
Yes.
Show, and wish you luck for the rest of the season. And I'd like to thank you folks for joining us here, and we'll see you next time right here on the Romeo Sports Recap.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in to this episode of the Romeo Sports Recap Show, powered by the Mitt TV. Remember, this show is available on both YouTube and Spotify. You can subscribe to the Mitt TV YouTube page and click the notification bell to stay up to date on the latest episodes of the Romeo Sports Recap. Or you can find us on Spotify and follow our podcast, Romeo Sports Recap. From the Mitt TV, I'm Tim Meyer, signing off with a final word from our sponsors. This podcast is powered by the Mitt TV of Romeo, Michigan. If you're looking to start a podcast for your business or personal use, look no further than the Mitt TV. They can get you access to equipment, a production engineer, and can even edit your podcast. That's all right here at the Mitt TV of Romeo, Michigan. And you can contact them right now via email at mitt.tvpodcast@gmail.com. That's mitt.tvpodcast@gmail.com.